Hey, we're looking at the supplies we need to do a toilet paper roll design. And remember, you're thinking as these rings as lines to a pattern. So what we need to do is take things apart. Now, minimum what you will need is 4 paper towel rolls. Each paper towel rolls is also about the equivalent of 3 toilet paper rolls. So you could have 4 paper towel rolls, or you could have 12 toilet paper rolls, or whatever combination of the two you need to do. So if I have 2 paper towel rolls, I would need 6 toilet paper rolls. I want you to have that many so you have enough rings to make nice big designs for your project. So what you're going to do is cut these into rings. You can see these rings, they're about that big. I'd say anywhere from about 3/4 of an inch to an inch. You want to get about 5 rings per toilet paper roll. So when you cut these, you are going to end up flattening it a little bit, and it's going to pinch a little bit as you cut it. That's okay. If you want a nice circle when you're done, you could always go back and reshape that. Okay, they don't all have to be perfectly uniform size. Kind of depends on what you're doing. If you're choosing to do the temporary designs where you're doing 3 of them, you just cut them, kind of keep them straight so you get to see your designs from above. If you're doing your a permanent design, then you have to maybe make sure they're a little more uniform. You might want to measure and mark on there. So cut this all up, and then you'll have a lot of rings to work with. Alright, now all my rings are cut. I should have about 60 rings because it's about 15 per roll, and then you kind of go back and you can kind of straighten these back out so they are round again. Now there's a couple things you can do at this point. You can, if you are just doing the temporary ones where you're doing 3 designs, then you just leave them like this. Now if you are doing a permanent one where you're going to be using glue, you have to somehow color these. Now if you have some spray paint, you could use some spray paint. There's many different ways you could color them. You could see I used spray paint on these, so I have some black ones, blue ones. I didn't have white rolls at the time, so I did some white ones, but you can see I have some colors here, and that way when you're looking at this from the sides, they're colorful. If you are deciding to spray paint these, you have to kind of get around at different angles. Make sure you have a lot of newspaper out so you're not overspraying. I guess you can paint them if you want to. That would take a little while. I do suggest spray paint. And then if you're gluing them down, you either need white glue or a tacky glue, some type of liquid glue to stick them to the surface. And again, if you are doing a permanent one, you are only doing one because there's a lot more work involved in that. So those are the materials that we need. Also, if you are doing a permanent one, you would need a large piece, you would need like a poster board to do a permanent one. And you can see here I have a big sheet here. So those are the materials for this project.